Our guys continue to work hard and prepare the right way. Had some guys banged up this week, but we've got guys, our medical staff's done a nice job getting them back, getting them out on the practice field. When you look at where we're at right now as a football team, I see a lot of buy-in with our players. I see guys that are continue to work hard preparing at practice. And we keep talking about we've got to play our best game. We're a long way from doing that. Offensively, we've had struggles all year long in the red area. We've got to find ways to score touchdowns. Got to establish the run game, be more efficient running the football. And we've got to do a better job on third down. So defensively, last week we didn't get any turnovers. So we've got to find a way to get some turnovers. We've got to tackle better. We've got to eliminate mental mistakes. Got to make the other team beat us. Got to be able to start fast in the special teams. Got to do a much better job in protection on punt and punt coverage. Still have not got anything going in the kickoff return game. Some of that's been due to the kickers that we've played against, kicking the ball in the end zone. But we've got to do a better job blocking guys running down the field up front. I like the energy of our team. They've continued to work hard at practice. And so with that, I'll take any questions.
Weston, David.
Jeremy, with the quarterback situation, I guess, with Brian and Jarrett, what's the latest you can offer there?
Yeah, everybody practiced today. So we juggled some guys around. Obviously, JT took the majority of the snaps there. Brian took some too. Probably split those guys about 50-40, and Jarrett took about 10%. Some of that has to do with Jarrett's hands. Some of it has to do with he probably don't need as many reps as the other guys right now. But we repped all three guys.
David?
Why do you feel like the results and execution have been better for you guys the last 3 games than they were in sort of the first 5?
Well, as far as run efficiency, we didn't run the football near as good this past week as we have in some other weeks. One of the things that we didn't do is we didn't turn the football over offensively, which was a huge plus. I don't know what the statistics are this year, but going into last year, if you just didn't turn the football over offensively, or on special teams, you had like a 78% chance of winning the game. That was all last year. I'm sure it's very similar. Each week when we look at turnovers, we look at the NFL, we look at the SEC, and probably 80 to 85% of the folks that win the game, they won the turnover margin. So it's something that plagued us early in the year. Had lots of turnovers. We've been harping on it. So we've got to continue to take care of the football. I think that's one thing that helped us in this last game.
Patrick and Blake. Jeremy, just some other injury things with Daryl Taylor, Darnell Wright, Jerry Johnson. How much have they done this week? What are their chances for playing on Saturday night?
Daryl, he practiced today. He'll be ready to play. Darnell probably has a little ways to go. So he's working hard to get there, but it'll probably be a game time decision. Jameer, same way.
Blake and Vince.
To follow up on the quarterbacks, Jeremy, is Brian cleared to play Saturday? And then with Jarrett, would he be able to go for more emergency purpose?
No, they're all cleared to play. Today's the first day that Jarrett's took some snaps. So, but they're all ready to go. How we play them, we've not decided yet. We still got a couple of more practices here to see, and make a decision as we get closer to the game.
Coach, how much has Brandon Kennedy been able to help out the guys at right guard since you've had a few more guys rolling in and out of there due to injuries and other things?
Brandon does a really nice job with the front. He helps the quarterbacks in protections in the run game. He's very smart. So it's kind of like having a coach out on the field. So, we're glad he's there. He's healthy, staying healthy, and helping the guys around him.
Other questions for Coach? Steve and then Gustavo.
Coach Clark was mentioning that he was during your high school days, you were a quarterback at Plainview, I guess. He was a coach at Piedmont, you beat them in the playoffs. That's why, do you have to remember anything about that game, when it was, or what your memories of that were?
Well, that year I wasn't the quarterback. I was. We beat them twice. I don't know if he told you that, but ninth and 10th grade year. So no, it was. He's probably talking about our 10th grade year. I wasn't the quarterback, but oh yeah, I remember that game.
Anything that sticks out about that?
We won 34-6. It's funny. That was 1990. You can still remember the score. Third round of the playoffs at Piedmont.
Jeremy, you mentioned, I think on Monday, how you thought these UAB receivers, specifically, the two guys that kind of stand out for them look like SEC guys. What do you see on film that kind of translates to why they've been so explosive, both averaging over 20 yards a catch this year?
Well, they're big, they're fast, run really good routes, got great hands. They create a lot of one-on-ones because they run the football so effectively. Quarterback does a nice job getting them the ball. They got more than two receivers now, okay? 5, 6, 8, along with their tight ends. They play like three running backs. I mean, this guy's got a good football team. Guys are big, fast, and strong. So they do a nice job, and they've done a nice job recruiting these guys in there. And they are explosive. I mean, you watch the tape, they're making people look like they're standing still. They're running by them so fast. So they've created a lot of explosive plays. And these same guys turn around and they're the returners in the return game on special teams. So they have dynamic playmakers. And we've got to do a great job of containing them.
Gustavo and Gene.
Coach, I know you said that all the games, matter the same, but you guys started the season not on a good term, especially losing to Georgia State, which was the underdog, and you facing another underdog team. How do you guys keep it focused on the same way you guys are playing in the SEC?
Well, to me, it's really about us. And I'm talking about every game, So we keep looking to trying to play our best game, and we've been nowhere close to that. So if you're a right guard and the best that you've played as far as grading is 78% in a game, you need to play better. If you're a left corner and the best you've played in the game is 82%, and you've got 2 missed tackles and 3 mental errors, you need to eliminate the missed tackles. You need to eliminate the mental errors. That's how we gauge how we play. We have a long ways to go as individual football players, a defensive unit, offensive unit, special teams, until we play our best game. That's what we're looking for. And it comes with preparation. It comes with creating the right habits, playing with the right mental intensity, playing together. So that's what we're focused on. And that's every week. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. So I hope that answers your question. So some of the weeks we've been closer to that than we have others, So, that's what we're focused on this week. It's the same routine every week.
Gene and then Wes.
Jeremy, there was a time in the preseason where there may have been questions just because of lack of experience about your quarterback position, but now here you are going into November with 3 guys that have kind of shown that they can get the job done. Just how much of a change is that for you, and how have you all been able to get to the point where you have 3 capable quarterbacks?
Well, Jared's played a lot of football, okay? And there's been times he's played at a very high level. And probably most of the time he's played at a high level. That's the thing about that position is this, the guys that we recruit in here, JT, Brian, Jarrett was already here. All these guys have really good ability, right? So when they do something good, everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. When they do something that's not good, everybody knows it, right? So it's a whole lot different playing quarterback than it is playing 3 technique. 3 technique, nobody ever knows you do anything wrong. They just know if you make a tackle or you get a sack, right? They don't ever know the bad because nobody watches the 3 technique. Everybody watches the quarterback. So, we've those guys have ability. They're like everybody else on our team. They're looking to be at their best on Saturday night, so they got to prepare that way through this week. And that's what we're focusing on. We're trying to have better Mondays, better Tuesdays, better Wednesdays, and if we do that, hopefully we'll have better Saturdays. That's been the focus for everybody on our team this week.
Wes and David.
Jeremy, when just talking about Jarrett with the hand, I know that, you know, there's probably a lot of quarterbacks out there who a couple days after hand surgery wouldn't be out there, going out there and playing the game. How tough is he? I know you've talked about that before, but just sort of the physical toughness he has to go out there and try.
Well, you know, Jarrett's got something to prove, okay? He knows that. We all have something to prove. You know, if you look where we're at right now, we're not happy where we're at, okay? So everybody in our program has something to prove, and he knows that. So he's out there. Is he a tough guy? Yeah, I think he's a tough guy. Does he want to play? Sure he does, okay? And I believe he'll be ready to play, and he'll do what it takes to get ready with limited practice. So, but no, it's not surprising to me.
Last few, David, Patrick, Eric.
When you talk about holistically on your roster, assignments and grades, how would you compare the last 3 games the first time?
You know, sometimes the scoreboard doesn't indicate how you play, you know, and that's happened this year. There's been times maybe we played a little better than the score indicated. You know, when you turn the football over, you know, it doesn't help you there. Saturday, we created some plays on special teams, you know, that kind of flipped it the other way. So maybe we didn't play as good as everybody thinks we did Saturday. I know how we played, and I know that a lot of people in our program are not happy how they played. Okay, so we got to do a better job as coaches to get our guys to play at their best, because that's what we're looking for. So we'll have an opportunity to do that Saturday night. So we've worked hard this week to improve. There's so many places that we have to get better. We're not playing winning football, and we've got to be able to do that. So we got guys in our program that need to step up, some that need to play harder for longer, and some that need to execute at a higher level. So we all, coaches, starting with myself, we've all got to improve and be at our best on Saturday.
Patrick, and wrapping up with Eric.
UAB didn't even have a football program for 2 years, not that long ago. They come back first season, make a bowl, second season they win the conference. Just from your perspective as a coach, just how remarkable is kind of their story from what they've gone to where, you know, what they're coming in here Saturday night?
Yeah, it's pretty unique. You know, the fact of where they were at, football gets shut down. You know, I was actually at Georgia, and we got one of the linebackers. You know, kids had nowhere to go. Jay Gaines, he's looking for a place to go. He comes to Georgia, starts for us at linebacker. So also hired a coach from there who's now went back there, Blake Schrader. You know, he's sitting there without a job. You know, he's the DB coach. We get him at Georgia as a GA. So now he's back coaching the defensive backs there. So it's a unique circumstance. I don't know exactly the details of how they were able to bring guys back, how many guys they were able to sign. I know there was either 1 year or 2 years they didn't play. All they did was practice, and they redshirted a lot of guys. They have an old football team, okay? I know they lost 35 seniors last year, so they had 35 seniors on their team last year. You know, and anytime you have 35 seniors, you got a chance to have a good football team. I'm sitting there looking this year, you know, especially like offensively, they really have only 2 returning starters. But I'm looking at everybody on their team. They're redshirt juniors or redshirt seniors in the 2 deep. You know, so they have some age on their team. They're very well coached. The guys that coach there, I'm very familiar with them. Doesn't surprise me. I've seen them do it for the last 25 years. Some of them as players, some of them as coaches. So I'm not surprised there.
Eric, last question.
Jeremy, with the injuries on offense the last couple of weeks, offensive line, quarterbacks, looks like Jim Chaney's kind of put in some new wrinkles to that offense. What can you say about his play calling, his game plans going in here recently?
Well, I feel like Jim's done a good job all year. Saturday, we maybe executed at a little higher level. We made some throws down the field. And when you get plays in chunks, makes it a little easier to score. You know, when you sit there and you have to grind it out 4 yards, 3 yards, 7 yards, convert 4 third downs in a drive, lots can happen. The more plays it takes you to score, the more self-inflicting wounds you can get. So I think it helped us Saturday that we created some explosive plays. I think Jim's done a nice job all year. We've got to execute probably at a little higher level and be a little more consistent everywhere. And our kids are working hard to do that, So there's been lots of games offensively that I felt like we've moved the ball, and we turn it over and don't give ourselves a chance. Or we move the ball and we get a penalty, a dead ball penalty, and now it's 1st and 25. It's hard to overcome. That's happened in some of the games where maybe at the end of the game, maybe what was on the scoreboard was not exactly probably a good indication of how we played.